So hi, I welcome to my review videos. This time I'm doing the T-34-3. If you're still on, this is the test server, so stats may change. This is the first thing I want to tell. And also, if you haven't unlocked this one on the test server yet, you just have to play one battle and you unlock it by a mission, like you see here. I've completed it until Monday, 30th September. Fight a battle on a Sieve, a 112 or a T-34-3. So this is T-34-3. I haven't done the 112 yet. I think I'm going to do it tomorrow or the day afterwards. But since I did not have seen a lot of reviews on YouTube of the T-34-3, I thought like, well, I'm going to do this first. So what do you get for your money? Well, first of all, I don't know how much it costs, because it's basically not an attack tree, so I don't know how much it will cost. Probably it will be around, like every other premium tanks, around 12,500 gold, or 10,000 maybe, because it's a medium tank, I'm not sure. But this basically is the medium version of the 112. Why? Because it has the same gun, it has the same amount of armor somewhere. It's a little bit less, but it's more maneuverable than a 112. So since they are premium vehicles, it's no problems to bring up the stats. So the difference between these two is like, what do you want to buy? Is, well, basically with the 112 you have more hit points, of course. It's a heavy tank. It's much heavier also, but it has a better engine. But the engine to ton ratio, the horsepower to ton ratio is less than the T-34-3, so the T-34-3 is indeed faster. Speed limit though is very high for a heavy tank, but for a medium tank, T-34-3, it's average. It's not that fast, but it's not slow. The traverse though is very good, and like every other Russian and Chinese medium tank, it's a very good traverse speed. The hull armor is 90mm. It's enough to ricochet like tier 7 of tier 6 guns, but not for any higher. The hull though in a 112 is 120mm of very sloped armor, and this armor will be very thick. The turret for your own tier was nearly impenetrable, 190mm of armor, sloped armor. It's the kind of round design. There was a name for it, but I forgot it. And the 112 has 240mm of frontal armor and turret. That's a lot, but it's basically the i3 turret. The shell damage, the guns are the same. There is no difference in between, except the rate of fire is a little bit better on the medium tank, but the guns are basically the same. There's no difference at all. Turret reverse speed though is much better, so you can say that this is indeed the medium version of the 112. So if you're someone who likes to play medium tanks like me, this is a very good tank though. But there's one big flaw of this tank, that is the amount of penetration and the amount of gun depression that you have. This tank has almost none gun depression. This tank also reminds me of the T-34-3. And since I played this tank, I think I'm not going to mount the 122mm on my T-34-2 later on. Because the gun depression is almost none. Because you have a thicker caliber, your gun depression will suffer of it. But the gun is basically, this is it. 175. If you ever played the i6, the i6 is just the same as the 112, and the 112 is the medium version of the i6 and the 112. T-34-3 I mean. The damage though is very high, 390 damage per shot. You will easily do 400 damage per shot, and you're amazed how much damage you can do. But the accuracy of this gun, the accuracy is horrible, but absolutely horrible. You really have to stand right in front of him to do your damage. The aiming time though, 3.4 seconds, as I said through my whole videos of this channel, the aiming time is what makes a medium tank. If you have a slow aiming time, you do not have a medium tank. A medium tank needs a fast aiming time. If you're sitting still with a medium tank, you're just a sitting duck for the enemy. And also, again, I'm not playing on my account again, I'm playing on my friend's account, none of mine. Because I still got suspended for some reason, still don't know why. And then you have the turret armor at 46 degrees, 190mm of frontal armor, 120mm of side armor what's enough to bounce like, let's say, 200mm penetration guns and 60 on the back. The view range is very high also, and like I said for my T-34 review and my T-62A review, is that this tank is actually quite good for scouting also. Mostly I'm in front of the lines trying to scout because this tank is very small actually. Like if you compare to the 112, of course the 112 is a medium tank, but look at this, it doesn't have spaced armor. Oh, that's stupid. Um, but as you can see, it's just the same as T-54. There are almost no differences between. Um, but if you use this in battle, it's kinda speedy, but the gun depression will troll you over and over again on this tank. This tank is absolutely horrible if it comes to gun depression. I have two gameplays coming up, both of them where I got over 1300 experience. One, well, you see it here on the thing. This gameplay 1577, and another gameplay where I got 1300 experience. Both of them are very hilly maps, and those hilly maps, there was a big problem with it, because if you're driving, like for instance an American tank, I mean a T-34 for instance has a very good gun depression, same like Pershing and the Patton, but this one, oh man, it's horrible. I watched a documentary about the Russian tanks, and all of their tanks only get a 5-degree gun depression. That's almost nothing if you compare to the 20-degree that the Americans have. But if you hit with this gun, oh, you will do full damage, but you have to face a very long reload, and that's also a con of this. The reload is absolutely shit. It's every 15 seconds. With a medium tank, you want to have a high DPM. You do not want to have the big punch. You want to have a big DPM. You want to circle around it. Well, I mean, speed and maneuverability is absolutely great on this tank. It is a fast tank, but the gun is more a gun what you want on a heavy tank, not on a medium tank. It's still a good tank. I like it though. The amount of credits what you earn is very high also. Like you see, I have a 1500 experience battle, and I have a 127,939 experience. That's a lot. And if you, like for instance, where's my, here we go, 80,000 credits. That's the credit earning on this tank. Maybe it will change, but the credit earning is very good. On my regular account I have an M6A2E1, but that M6A2E1 doesn't earn a lot of credits. Like if I have a match that's around 2000 experience, I only receive like 80 to 90,000 credits. I think I got, well, through my whole history of World of Tanks, I only got like 1 or 2 or 3 games where I got over 100,000 credits. That's it. And going to do a little break. But let's hop into the equipment, what you want to use. What do you want to use on your equipment? Well, first of all, plus 20% to accuracy, to movement, turret rotation. This is what I put mostly on a medium tank, but it's your choice. But the must-haves though on this tank are the minus 10% to load time. That 1.5 seconds is going to save your life, and this minus 10% to aiming time. You need this plus 10% to aiming speed, because the aiming speed is horrible on this tank. I do not want to know how it feels without it. What you may want to use also here is maybe toolbox instead of vertical stabilizer, because it's a medium tank and you want to fix your tracks fast if you do not want to waste a repair kit or something like that. Coated optics maybe, I don't know. Minion pollen, no. Wet ammo rack though, if you do not want to mode a vertical stabilizer, wet rack is a must-have to have on this tank, because I've not been ammo racked on this tank, but I have seen other people being ammo racked on the tank. Trust me, the Chinese ammo racks are horrible. Why? Because they have the ammo rack in the back. They do not have their ammo rack on the edge of the turret. They have it under beneath their tanks. So if you shoot a T-34-3 and it penetrates the lower hull and goes through, your ammo rack will be hit and it will easily explode. So shell setup, what you want to use for shell setup is first of all lots of AP shells. A couple of gold shells, like 2 or 3, that's enough, because it's a premium tank and you want to earn money, you don't want to spend money. and a couple of high explosive, because 122 millimeters in caliber is still a very good damage though. If you hit other tanks. Here, except the gold ones, I think quality all will be a good thing to have, or remove speed governor, so we have an extra engine power, and that extra engine power can be very good to use on a medium tank, but with the removed speed governor you will damage your engine, and it costs money. So I don't know what's your choice, but for the rest, just a regular repair kit, med kit, and fire extinguisher. Then for the crew, what do you want to train on the crew? Well, first of all, common is repairs, of course. Brothers in arms is also a handy thing to have. Like on premium tanks, you'll easily have four skills if you played like 8 to 900 battles. So brothers in arms is a good thing to have though, because it improves every single crew member a bit, and you will need that extra reload time and that extra speed and etc. Sixth sense, of course, this is always the first thing I research on my commander. Sixth sense doesn't matter as a light tank, heavy tank, tank destroyer, I don't care. Sixth sense, first thing you want to research. Then I would go with recon, maybe if you have a spot open, and mentor could be a handy thing to have though on this tank. It only has 4 crew skills, so you will share your experience much better, so you will easily level up. Snapshot, yes, snapshot is the first thing you want to have here. Damage gun, if your gun is damaged, you're fucked, even though you have armor, so I think it's better to use a repair kit on your gun. Maybe designate the target, but snapshot is a must have. Go for the common ones on the gunner. Then for the driver, you need a lot of skills on the driver. You need clutch braking. First thing you want to have is clutch braking, so you have an extra rotation speed. Off-road driving is maybe the second skill you want to have, because you're faster in swampy terrain, etc. And improves accuracy during movement. Flying on a move with a 122mm, where you have to face a 13-second reload? Nah. It's your choice. Do you want to use smooth ride? You are the boss. Then for the loader, I recommend for you to have, and the radio man, extended view range could become in handy. But for the rest, that's it. Maybe call for vengeance. But for the loader, you must have safe storage as your first skill, and then adrenaline rush, because the gun is already so slow reloading, and you can use that extra plus 10% to your loading time if you have less than 10% hit points left. So that's it about it in the garage, and I'll see you in the gameplay. Okay, so welcome back to the gameplay. This is the T-34-3 in battle, and this is a new map. I don't know how it's called because I haven't seen the title screen yet, and I forgot the name, so sorry for that. But as you can see on the minimap, you have 3 different kinds of way where to go. You have a big bridge in the middle, you have a hill on the right, and you have a little bit of flat ground on the left, and you can push up from both sides. Now the bridge in the middle seems like the easiest placed, but you have to know that probably tank destroyers will be waiting there for you, so the middle is not an option though. So I decided, like, well, I'm going to the riders, let's see if there was any things here. And here you will see a demonstration of the poor gun depression this thing has. This is, by the way, the 1300 experience gameplay. The 1500 will be coming up next. And basically the penetration of this gun is horrible, but absolutely horrible. I do not want to use any premium shells because I want to let you guys show how it feels with regular AP shells. And I got so pissed off here, and this T-34-3 just got AFK. See, I hit him there, and I do not know how much damage I did because I'm watching this as an editing software as a very small screen here. See if it can make it a little bit. Ah, no, it's bigger. So this guy was just AFK, and that artillery is probably using firing AP shells, because otherwise he will not do 1000 damage to me. And that other guy was just YOLOing into them, but okay. So I'm taking down this guy before he wakes up, and he's going to flank us and kill us in the and shoot us in the ass. So there we have a 112, and I'm trying to aim down, but the gun depression is so horrible. 416 damage, that's a lot. Now, you must know that I'm hitting him from a hill, and that the sloping on his armor is a little bit less, but if you're hitting this from like a 90-degree angle, frontal into them, you will bounce. You will absolutely bounce. There's no way that you're going to penetrate unless you're using premium shells. So I'm trying to push his rack over to them, so at least I have a little bit cover, and I may have the gun depression, so I finally can hit something. But I'm just taking more damage here, and I'm like, well, fuck it. Luckily they are distracted by that other guy here. 410 damage, whoa, for my medium attack, that's just awesome. Now we have another guy, and he will be... Well, he was actually quite tough though, because we had to take lots of hits before we finally could have destroyed him. And here you see a dirt moment for me. Oops, accidentally fired into them, but luckily it bounced. Otherwise he may have shot back, and the game was over for me then. So there we go, bones, first bones. I'm trying to hit the weak spots though. I know the lower hull, but the problem is that this gun is so inaccurate that you poorly hit the weak spots. See, again, bones. That's... I do know where to penetrate tanks, but the gun is so inaccurate that you will poorly hit anything. So he got destroyed before I could have taken a shot from him. But look at the map. This map is very nice. It's very detailed. I mean, for fall, there are so much colors in. I mean, the leaves that are turning red and yellow. The mossy ground, the river. It's a very nice map though. I think it's Wargaming there. I think this is Wargaming their best map. I mean, it's so detailed, it's fun to play. It's not a camping map like the other maps that have been added. So this 110 will be a pain in the ass. So I thought like, well, he has a very good sniping position and we can easily take them down here from the middle. But the gun depression is trolling me again. I can't hit him I can't hit him. We didn't even scratch them. So I aimed for his non-slow par, but I still bounced because the accuracy of the gun was trolling me again. And the last guy will be taking out soon also. So that's the end of the gameplay, and you'll see how much damage I've received and damage done. Not a lot though, because the slow reloading gun is pretty, well, it's pretty long. So there we go, garage, 1300 let's say 1390 experience. I got third in the matchmaking. And I fired 11 shots, direct hits, that's it. And I'll see you in the second gameplay. Okay, so this is the 1500 experience battle, and this is a very old map what has been added back, and I never knew why Wargaming moved this map out of the game, because I like this map. This was a very good map. Now with the physics update it's much better, because you can go over the river and actually flank them without using those two bridges here. But here you will see a demonstration of how much the gun can do damage, and how good the maneuverability is of this tank. Because I have been driving around this map though. It's not like the previous one where we just pushed once, flank it. That was it. So that was again a derp moment of me. I'm not used that there are physics on this map because I've always been playing, well, this kind of maps. No, what I do know out of my experience that if you go into the middle of this map, you will be dead in no time. So I got behind him and I suddenly saw that wargaming has been added this wide open spot here where you can hit them very easy. And in the past it doesn't, well, it wasn't just here. So I'm trying to hit this guy, but the gun depression is just failing me enough to not hit him. There we go, we have our T-34-3. This shot just went low. A lot. I mean, the accuracy, even though the accuracies of tanks are much better, Wargaming said like, well, we're going to make it more historical. More to the historical accuracy. No, like for instance, the German tanks will almost hit everything because they had very high historical accuracy, but the Chinese and the Russians just hadn't. They just hadn't have any historical accuracy. So the accuracy of the Chinese and the Russian will be even worse than before the update. And I'm like, well, can I hit this guy? Can I hit this guy? And suddenly someone crawls in front of me, and well, he's been taken out. He's not a problem anymore. So we've helped our guys pushing the middle, so it should be no problem to let them push. But I suddenly saw that the left was failing, and they asked for help. In a moment you will see it. And this is actually the wrong gameplay because I'm sniping with this gun, and you should not be sniping with this gun, trust me. If you're someone who plays Ella Aloof, like for instance, and you're sniping there in on the top of the hill with a 122mm gun, no, please guys, just uninstall the game. I hate it when people do that. Why do you want to snipe with the most inaccurate gun of the whole game when the Germans, with a very good accuracy, are pushing up the hill? Well, don't do that. If you know what I mean. So there we have the guy who is asking for assistance on the top bottom left of the map, and I'm like, well, I'm going to drive there. No, this map has been updated a lot of times. Like for instance, where I'm driving over here, it used to be in the previous map, but in the map therefore there wasn't a lake in the middle of the map, it was just ground. And I think afterwards they made it into a lake, and then they made it into this lake slash ground. Well, there has been a lot of updates though on this map. I think in the beta it used to be only lake, this section of the map. I don't know. But this was a map what has been added in the beta, so it's a very old map. I like the map though. Well, in the middle you can have the most fun, but the problem is with the middle that you will be shot from both sides. So I think it's still better to go to the right or to the left. Depends on what side are you spawning. Like for instance, on the side where I'm spawning here, I know that mostly they're going to wait by the bridges, so we can at least push a little bit on the right. So that's why I went to the right, because I knew that they were going to camp near the bridges, and we can take easy shots on the middle because they weren't in range. And I don't know if they still have it, but there is a little bit destructible object there in the middle of the map. But you can't go over it with a medium tank or light tank. You need a heavy tank to destroy it. I don't know if it's still there. You will see because I spawned on the wrong side of the map. So I'm trying to aim for its weak spot, but the gun accuracy is still failing me. And I basically kept bouncing on this guy, and I was like, after the shot, like, well, fuck it, I'm going to load premium shells. And even with premium shells, I bounced him. So the 112 does have good armor, even though it says that it only has 120mm in stats. You still have to try it out in the game though. You can't say it from the stats. You first have to try it. And that's what the test servers are for. So there we go, to get hit on him and bounced again with a premium shell. He will be taking out, so that's the end of the gameplay, and I got 120,000 credits of this game and 1550 experience. So there we go, and I still ended up fourth though. It surprises me, probably because there's a mission going on that I have earned that much experience. So that's it, and I'll see you in the garage to have some little bit more
welcome
talking.
back to the garage, and to be honest about the tank, it's a good tank for a tier 8 premium. It's very fast, it has decent armor, it has good turret armor, but the gun is kinda the flaw, because it does a big punch, but it's not like this gun, for instance, the 100mm thing here. It has the same penetration as only a tier 7. It has a lower damage, but it has a higher rate of fire, and it has a faster aiming time. For a medium tank you need a fast aiming time and a high DPM. For a heavy tank or a tank destroyer you need that big punch, but not on a medium tank. So if you're someone who likes a big punch for medium tank and a fast maneuverable medium tank, this is the tank for you. It also earns lots of credits, as you saw. I mean, I earned like 1500 experience and I got 120,000 credits out of it. So to end this video, probably I'm going to do it tomorrow or the day afterwards. I'm going to do the 112 review. So I'm going to end this episode, and then the question was, and you can choose a tank for my garage. What do you want me to review next? Place in the comments below, and also to want to check out my channel soon, know what tanks I've already reviewed. And yeah, next time I'm going to do the 112, and then on my regular server I'm going to do the LTP, the Learn to Play tank. It's a very fun tank, lots of people underestimate it, so get subscribed, and I'll see you next time.